In today's video, we are going to do a review on all the Hearts of Iron DLCs. So we're going to load up a new game, and for this example, we showed you Gathering Storm 1936, January the 1st. Anyway, so as you can see here, I have all the DLCs available. At the date of this recording, Blood Alone has been announced to come out, but unfortunately has not came out yet, so I shall not be covering that. So for this review, I shall be playing as Germany. So let's select Germany and let's load the game. We will also be discussing the prices of the DLCs, which DLCs will come out, the subscription, and we'll also be discussing what they include as well. So that is a really important thing. I thought I might make a DLC videos because I've always watched. I love this game and I wanted to get the DLCs, but all the DLC videos that are out are all outdated. So I thought I might make a new one. Anyway, to get to the DLCs, I shall start with the first ever DLC Hearts of Iron came out with, and that is Together for Victory. And this DLC composes of focus trees for all the Commonwealth nations, well, most of them. So, for the first focus tree I shall cover is for the Dominion of Canada. Here it adds not a big but not a small focus tree. It's a lot, definitely bigger than the base focus tree. So here, I'll let you have a look. I'll give you a brief summaries. Basically, you can leave the Commonwealth, or you can stay in the Commonwealth. You can become fascist, communist, stay democratic, align with Quebec, or anything really. Okay, so now we're done with that focus tree. The next country that has a new focus tree in this pack is South Africa. I had a really lot of fun with this. This I think has a way better focus tree than Canada. As you can see, it is more developed, and this I love. It has loads of different ways to manipulate the game, and I think I really like it, this focus tree for South Africa, because I like playing as any African nation, but this DLC, or this focus tree, is very good. So you can become communist, fascist, again, go away from the Commonwealth or stay with them. So again, it is entirely your choice. So I'll let you have a look at that. And then we have the British Raj. Of course, we have to have the British Raj, and this is maybe not maybe the largest. I'm not so sure, but it's a very important focus tree. So here you can appoint Gandhi as your leader if you choose to go against the British rule, or you can go with the British rule, or you can become fascist, communist. You can also separate. Well, I don't know. I'm not so sure because I haven't played for it many times. But I think either the British AI makes the English AI or the British AI makes the decision for you. But I think either a British Raj or the British United Kingdom will have a chance to split India into Pakistan and Bangladesh, and then you'll have a civil war with them, and you could also have a civil war in yourself. So again, I think this is a very nice focus tree. Again, pretty short, but it's very good for Hearts of Iron's first DLC. And then the two last but not least nations in this DLC is Australia and New Zealand. These two nations have relatively the same focus tree. Australia having a bit more, New Zealand not having as much. I know you're probably thinking like British Malaya has nothing. I know, it's very sad. Let me just show you. Here is the normal focus tree for all nations. Here is the base focus tree for all nations, and as you can see, it's not too complex but pretty simple. And then this is what the updated version is for Together for Victory. It looks a lot better. So you can have here again, go against the Commonwealth or stay in it. You can become fascist, communist. You can fortify your country. Basically, it is the normal to define like Together for Victory focus trees. It is like the base focus tree, which added a bit more spice, like civil wars, different ideologies, and all that jazz and stuff. So I'll let you have a look at that. Okay, now New Zealand, quite similar, but again quite different. Okay, so here you can strengthen the army, the resources, the air force, and then again you can leave the Commonwealth, become communist, fascist, get rid of monarchy, and become like independent. So, yeah, let me have a look at that. Okay, so now that was Hearts-Fire's first DLC, we shall go into Hearts-Fire's second DLC. Before we go into Death or Dishonor, which is the second DLC, I would like to say that Together for Victory is, since I'm in the UK, I shall refer it as pounds, but wherever you live, I think it should be $11 or something, but it's around £10 or 11 quid, and it is, if you like playing as a Commonwealth Nations, then I do recommend it, but if you do not, then I do not say so. One thing about this DLC is, again, it's the first one, so the focus trees are not very far, but it does add a little spice into it. But again, I've used two buts here. It does constrict what you can do, because in the base game, you could do anything really with in the base focus tree, but here you can only do certain things. Anyway, I'm rambling a bit. Anyway, so here is the second DLC, is Death or Dishonor. It adds a focus tree for Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Yugoslavia, and Romania. These focus trees, for example, are a lot better, as you can see here. They're a lot bigger. And for example, Hungary is a very good one. It adds loads of different options. You can align with the Germans, elect a democratic king, or become Austro-Hungary. I know you're probably thinking that is amazing, and it is. Anyway, so that is loads of examples. I'll just give a quick brief. The Czechoslovakia, you can border your country and become super powerful against the Germans, or even become even a better empire than the Germans. Yugoslavia, you can basically decolonize yourselves and become into different, go into Croatia and blah 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 blah. You then get to choose whether they want to be puppets or not. And Romania, you get to either dominate the Balkans, as in guarantee the independence and eventually make them all puppets, or not. So again, it is your choice, and it is, I think, a lot better value than Together for Victory. It is £3, when Together for Victory, no, £6 I mean, it is, but Together for Victory is only £10, and I think that the focus trees are a lot better in this DLC, and I think that it is worth getting this one if you want to get your first DLC. Anyway, for my next DLC, I shall go for La Resistance, which is a very game-breaking mechanic. DLC. It adds the intelligence mechanic, and that allows you to equip spies, which you can send to other nations to gather intel. It is very useful and adds a little spice to the game. And do not worry, it is not just that. It also adds focus trees for France here. In this France focus tree, you can re-elect Napoleon as a king. I know it sounds awesome. That is on this side, just saying. And you can also join the Commonwealth, but there's loads of other things you can do. And that is about it. Oh no, you can also, isn't just a Napoleon, there's other kings and queens, I'm not so sure. But it is a very nice playthrough. And then it also adds a very, very large focus tree to Spain. I know you're probably thinking it's a really big focus tree, a lot of value for that. But I think once you're in a civil war, if you choose one side, I think you can only do one side of the focus tree. But again, it is a very large focus tree. So, just saying, a heads up, if this is your first DLC you're getting, Spain will just descend into madness, because in the civil war there is the Spanish Directory, which is essentially nationalist Spain. They might turn into that. There is normal Spain, which can turn into Republican Spain. Carlist Spain, which wants to revive the Spanish Empire, which I think is very cool. And we also have anarchist Spain, which you're probably thinking, oh, anarchy is a new ideology. Sadly, it is not. So it's a bit of a shame that it is probably communist or non-aligned. It depends what kind of game you're playing. It also adds DLCs to also adds a focus to Portugal. And this, again, you can make a Portuguese empire, which I think is very nice. You can also can become United Kingdom of Portugal, which I think is a bit of a rip-off of United Kingdom, but I'm not saying anything. And I think it's very cool. Nice beefy focus tree, adds a game mechanic, and I think it's the same price as Together for Victory. I'm not so sure, But again, I think it's either £10 or £15, or 10 quid or 15 quid. So I think it is a very good DLC, and I think you should get this rather than Together for Victory, I would say. Okay, the next DLC I shall cover, since I am running out of time here, is Man the Guns. This is a massive DLC which adds focus trees to United States, Mexico and United Kingdom. These focus trees, so for the United Kingdom, it allows you to revive the monarchy here, the King's Party, and put King Edward in power, become fascist, and chase after the Commonwealth nations, and become communist. You can also decolonize and basically give up all your territory to nations, or to like Egypt, for example. Like you give up Cairo to Egypt, Sudan, and blah blah blah, and basically they all become your puppets. And here you can become the Imperial. The Imperial Federation from reinforce the empire, basically making you a large empire. Basically, all the Commonwealth nations are coming and joining into one big nation with you, but that takes a lot of effort. It also adds a focus tree for Mexico, and it is really fun, but it can descend into anarchy if you're not careful. You can become a Legion of Christ, you can become a King of Columbus, you can become a fascist dictatorship, or not. So it is again really your choice. I love this game because it has loads of different choices. And for the addition for America, it does add that you can become fascist. You can have General MacArthur as your leader. You can have a 4-way civil war. This is so good, and I don't think I could spend days talking about this. So I recommend this DLC. It is 15 quid, so I think it might be worth getting. If it is on a deal, then definitely. Anyway, next DLC is Waking the Tiger, and this DLC has an expansion for all the Chinese warlords. They are Shanix, pardon me if I do not pronounce them correctly, Shanix or Zambinsa, or the Guanzi Klieg, Yunnan, and sadly not Manchukuo. But it does add so although focus tree for Zambinsa and all the Chinese warlords are the same. So this is the focus tree. You can have a border clash, which is a new form of combat against the nationalists, and it also adds focus trees for China. This bit's the same for Communist China and Manchukuo, and it also adds this bit, which is unique to China, and then this bit, which is unique, which is the same as Nationalist China because they're both Chinas, I guess. And this is the same, like I said, for China, Communist China, Manchukuo. And for Manchukuo, you can fight. This is a bit more interesting. You can fight a revolutionary war with Japan and become the Qing Empire, and you can claim the mandate of heaven and become the Chinese Empire. I know it sounds awesome, but it takes a lot of territory expansion. It involves you claiming all of modern-day China. Also, as a focus tree to Japan, and this allows you to purge the Kyoto faction. Also allows you to support the Kyoto faction. Oh yeah, and also allows you to strengthen the civilian government and the unthinkable option. As you can see from the symbols, they are communist and democratic, and these will both end up in civil wars, just saying. So yep, and it's really fun playing as a different type of Japan. Anyway, now we shall go on to what DLCs have I not covered. Battle of Bosporus, that is a lovely one. It adds DLC for Bulgaria, Kingdom of Greece, Turkey, and that's about it. But do not be fooled by the numbers, because it adds a lot to these nations. And of course, you can become the Ottoman Empire as Turkey, but it does take a lot of effort. And as Greece, you can become the Byzantine Empire, but again takes a lot of effort. And in Bulgaria, you can become the Socialist Republic of the Balkans, but again takes a lot of effort. This has loads of rewards, but again for loads of effort, and will in turn basically make you lose all your stability, manpower, and political power. So expect to be heavily bombarded by problems in your own country. Next is No Step Back, which is the most recent DLC, and this adds a focus to the Soviet Union, Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. For Estonia, you can become peak Estonia by conquering Finland. For Latvia and Lithuania, I think you can become the Balkan Socialist Republic. I'm not so sure. And then for Soviet Union, you can reappoint the Tsar. This is really cool. And become Tsar Vladimir III of the Empire of Russia. It is very nice, but it takes a lot of effort. So it's just a big country. And for Poland, you can become 3 different kind of monarchs. You can become, well, I don't know why it says I can do it. You can become the Habsburg, basically Hungary Poland. You can become Romania Poland. You can become the Cossack King, which is like a Russian Poland. I'm not so sure, but that results in you being fascist. Anyway, okay, so I think that is all the DLCs that are out now. The new DLC that's coming out is Blood Alone, and I think that adds a focus tree to Italy, Switzerland, Ethiopia. I'm not so sure about Austria, but for Italy, it will allow you to revive the Roman Empire. I'm definitely sure about that. And Ethiopia, I know it will allow you to expand and get rid of the Italians. And for the subscription, that's what I have. And the subscription, I think that's how you get all the DLCs for £4 a month, and I think it's very nice. And since I do not have to buy Blood Alone now, because if you have subscribed to a subscription, £4 a month, I think, then that basically means it will update the game automatically with every new DLC that comes out, so you do not need to pay 20 quid for whatever or blah blah blah. So the price, I would say, so let's recap. Waking Tiger is around £15. No Step Back is around £15. Man the Guns is around £15. And these are all £15, 15 to 20 quid. So they are all very expansionate games and add loads of big focus trees. But it depends where you like to play. If you like to play in the Western Hemisphere, the Northern Hemisphere, or the Eastern Hemisphere. La Resistance is I think £15 the same. Adds a game-breaking mechanic, and I think adds loads of good focus trees in the European countries. What else have I missed? Together for Victory, I think is not a good first DLC because of the price, and it does not add a lot. But if you like playing the Commonwealth countries, then I recommend you do get it. Battle for Bosporus is very nice, but there's a lot of struggle in your own country, so that will take a lot of endurance. And kind of the same with Death or Dishonor. It's a step up from Together for Victory, and I think is very worth for its money. And I believe that if any of these DLCs are on deals, that you should definitely get them. They are such an investment to get. And I can't believe I forgot to say this, but for Waking the Tiger, it also allows you, as Germany, to oppose Hitler and become the Kaiser, and allows you to make the European Union. So there is loads of things in this wonderful world we call Hearts of Iron, and I hope you have enjoyed my video. This quick ending that I'm saying, if you enjoy the base game, it is fine. The base game is very enjoyable. But if you ever want to get a DLC, I recommend stick to a small DLC, probably Death or Dishonor or Battle of Bosporus. But if a big DLC like No Step Back or any of the other big DLCs are on sale, then I definitely recommend you take an opportunity and get them. So I hope you enjoyed my review, and I hope it has helped you. Goodbye!